This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store. And today I'm very lucky to join by, once again, Jeff Mayweather. So, Jeff, we last caught up in August. How have you been, mate?
Been good, man. Been busy, traveling from state to state, doing seminars and appearances, different things.
What type of appearances have you been doing then?
I went to a actual boxing movie appearance where one of my fighters was actually a part of the movie, and I was supposed to be a part of it, but I was out of the country at the time they were shooting, so I didn't get a chance to be in it.
I spoke to Stitch Duran. I think it was when Fury and Wilder, their trilogy fight, so a while back, and he said that he's in the new Creed film and they're shooting it in February. Are you going to be in it?
No. It'd be nice. He was in the other one before, so
he's a movie star, Stitch Duran, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he's been in quite a few movies but he's in movies as a cut man. So
all right, so Jeff,
himself.
I think it was last February we spoke, and you were saying that you've got a documentary coming out. What's been going on with that? Because you said I could be in it, but I've never had my invite.
Well, right now, I'm trying to get it done, and I want to make sure the right people, are the ones that are doing it. So right now, I'm still pitching it to various people that will hopefully in the long run before 2022 hits, hopefully we'll have something.
Yeah, hopefully it sounds good. I remember you saying the documentary is going to be about your life, and in fact, you've got quite a lot of good stories. I remember reading a book. I think Chris Dixon wrote it. It was a biography about Floyd Mayweather. It's called Money, and you had some quotes in it, and you're talking about, I think there's one time when you were growing up, and you was like, and with Floyd Mayweather Senior, and he was saying you were telling him loads of stories about what was happening. What can you remember about your kind of childhood and growing up with Roger and Floyd?
I mean, basically, most of my time was spent with Roger, and basically, me and Roger were like inseparable. And so wherever he went, I went, and I mean, that never changed because that's the reason why I'm here. And, so, and it's kind of funny because I went to college, and when I went to college, I was walking across the stage, my phone rang. Of course, I can't answer my phone, but once I sit down, I realized it was Roger. And basically, he called me saying, "Are you coming to Vegas?" He was all excited. I said, "Yeah." But I didn't know that I was coming to Vegas to stay in Vegas forever. Because when I arrived in Vegas, the first thing he did is gave me a car and told me, said, "This is where you live, and this guy right here is your manager." Okay.
So was this after you'd been to university or college, as you call it in America?
Well, I mean, it was after because right after I graduated from college, I mean, at first I was looking for jobs, and I mean, and then I kind of like got in my mind where I said, maybe I should do this boxing. Maybe I should do this first. And because I said that I don't want to be a person that lies to myself. We can always lie to ourselves about what we could have done and what we could have achieved. And basically, if I didn't throw myself into boxing to give myself a real chance at boxing, that's exactly what I would have been doing. I was already saying that I'm looking at guys on TV and I said, oh, I could beat that dude. But, I threw myself into the game. So, and then, like I said, I was looking for jobs at the time. And really, once I started thinking about the boxing stuff, I would dress up every day and put on a suit and go acting like I'm looking for a job, but I wasn't. I just go to lunch.
What do you think you would have done, Jeff, if you had never found boxing?
I think if I never boxed, I think that I would have been great. I would have been fine at anything I did, because everything pretty much came easy, to me. And basically I would have been working in a field in which I went to college for. So, I would have been fine.
And what you studied in college, you did kind of graphics, art, and kind of design, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And do you still do art now? Do you still do a bit of drawing?
Every once in a while I get bored, and I just try to, I try to sketch something and see what I got left, because drawing is something that you kind of gotta, maybe to the naked eye of a person that's not really into art, they'll think anything that you do is great, because they probably can't make a full circle or anything. But the thing is that when you're an artist, you actually want to capture the essence of someone. Especially if you're drawing a photo, you want to find that one thing about that person that when everybody sees that picture, automatically they know exactly who that person is. And so that's one thing with me, and with my artwork, that I'm very, very, I guess I'm very, I like to capture the essence more than anything, because if not, to me, I failed. To a lot of other people that look at that picture, they'll be like, "Oh, that's nice, but you as the artist, it's not nice to you, because you know what you can do." And it's just like, Floyd Senior's an amazing artist.
I remember him saying in an interview, he was saying that he liked doing his art. Who's a better artist, you or Floyd Senior?
He's better than me, but I'll say he's much better than me as a painter, because he's kind of like me too. His detail, is way past my detail. I might want to find one thing, maybe your nose. I make your nose perfect so somebody know that it's you. This dude, he'll. But don't get me wrong, he's patient. I'm not as patient as him. He can take 4 or 5 months to do one painting. I can't wait that long. Once I start, I'm finishing that day. I don't care.
Yeah, 5 months is a very long time. I don't see much of Floyd Mayweather Senior now on interviews. How's he doing?
He's doing well. Of course he's getting older, and every once in a while his memory's a little bad, but other than that, he's fine. Physical shape, he's great.
Do you think I could get him on a Zoom? You and Floyd Senior on a Zoom sometime?
What? Me and him together?
Yeah, you and him. You're sitting there, and he's sitting in a chair next to you there. Can that be possible, or do you think he's a bit busy?
Probably not, unless I do it at his house. Because
I
know he's not. Yeah, I know he's not coming. I know he's not going to come to my house and do something like that. And so, it would be something that had to be set up, and with quite a bit of time in between. So maybe we can work on it.
Yeah. Well, when I come to Vegas, Jeff, I'll interview Floyd Senior. Does that sound good?
Yeah, he'll do it.
What kind of cool stories do you remember from your childhood? You growing up with Roger and Floyd, never seen it. Have you got any stories you've never told before, or the of entertaining?
Well, I mean, I have told a lot of stories, but I mean, most of my stories are gonna be about Roger because that's who I spent, almost 95% of my life with. I have stories about me and Floyd Sr. as well, but they're those kind of stories that I don't care to tell.
Okay, tell some stories about you and Roger then.
Well, I mean, there was a story when me, Roger, probably about 5 or 6 other guys, we all was playing football together. I mean, we were actually on a football team, but we used to walk back from practice. And so we was walking back from practice one time, and all of a sudden we walked past the sporting good, and Roger said, "Let's go in there." And everybody, he was kind of he was a little older than all of us, so we all just followed him. We didn't know what we was getting ready to do. We was getting ready to rob the store. And so it's so funny because it's funny when I look back, but it wasn't funny at the time. But so he just put everybody in position, to get whatever they was going to get and do whatever they had to do while we was in there. And so he gave me a baseball bat. We're in the store robbing a guy with his own equipment. He told me to go get a bat and hold it over the guy. And it's weird because I didn't know what I was really doing.
Wait, Jeff, how old were you at this time?
We were probably about, I would say probably about 10 at the most, probably about 10. So
And
I mean,
how old was Roger and Floyd?
Roger's 3 years older than me. Floyd is 10 years older than me. So I mean, that's why me and Roger was always close. And I mean, we had a lot of different, stories like these type of stories, and where we would just violate things and do wrong. It's just like he actually came up with a perfect way to steal, even even though I never did none of this stuff. That, I mean, if he told me to do something in terms of like I did, I would do it, just because we were so close. But, then he had found a way to actually steal stuff out of a grocery store. It was so easy. It didn't seem like it was easy, but when he told me how he was doing it, he would grab something that he wanted, and then he would act like my mother was there. And so he would be like, "Hey, I want this." And he'd walk right out of the store with it. And nobody never noticed. But Roger was, I mean, that was just Roger. I mean, he even did it. Roger even did that when he was world champion. He would go in the store and steal stuff just to have fun, And so, I mean, I guess, and then, I mean, there were so many other things that we did, I don't want to tell you everything. I'll be going to jail.
So when you guys are kind of robbing the store and you're holding a baseball bat, well, because you didn't finish that story off. What went on after that?
Well, I mean, basically, Roger told everybody to take whatever they wanted. And basically, we took those guys, everybody took about, a bunch of, all they wanted was gym shoes and cleats and stuff like that, because we were playing football. And so everybody took, pretty much, a bunch of gym shoes, a bunch of cleats, things like that. And we just left. We left, and nothing ever happened. It's funny because later on, at some point down the road, the guy knew who he was, but it was funny because by this time that the guy figured out who he was, or he had seen us again, we were adults. And basically, it's funny because he felt honored to be robbed by us. So that's kind of funny to me. We robbed him, and all these years later, and he's like, I was robbed by Roger Mayweather.
So speaking of kind of staying in this kind of genre, you told me last time your Xbox got stolen. Whatever happened to that? Do you ever find you stole it?
No. maybe they'll become famous, and maybe I'll say, "Hey, thank you for stealing my Xbox." No, I never did, and actually, I had got robbed another time after that, but then I finally woke up and got me a alarm system. And not only that, I can see it from anywhere in the world that if there's somebody in my house, what I'm gonna do is, I'm not going to get on there and talk to them or anything. What I'm gonna do is, when I get home, or even before I get home, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put their ass on Instagram and Facebook and let the whole world, I'm gonna make you a star. You stealing from me. I'm gonna make you a fucking star. Everybody gonna know about you. The people that they've been around, if they didn't know that they was like that, they're gonna know. They're gonna know that you got a thief in your house.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way. That is a good way to kind of show them that they are the thief. Just one thing I want to talk on actually. Before I do each interview, I kind of search person who I'm interviewing. So say I search you up on YouTube and Google, so there's any news related to you. But you don't do many interviews where you're being interviewed. Why is that?
I do quite a few interviews. Lately, I just really started doing a lot of interviews for different channels and things like that. Because in the beginning, Jody thought that, well, we don't want to, because we're in competition with these guys, we don't want them to get, all of our views, but I'm like this. You are holding a camera, in this business. People want to interview me, so, I'm not going to turn down interviews just because they're going to steal a few people from our channel. I think that, to me, by me helping them, and, we're helping each other. Because, the thing is this, is that if I start work, doing interviews for as many channels as, I ain't gonna say as many as possible, but, I'm gonna do channels from, people that live out of the country, people that live here, and some of the bigger channels that's even a little bit bigger than ours. I need to be heard, and if they like what they see on their channel, they're gonna tune in our channel as well. So that's how I see it. So I have no problem with being on a channel, and every once in a while, I'll do interviews for my own channel as well.
I remember seeing you on the I think it was Fight Hype, where you were talking about the Spence Crawford, a bit of a poster fight from Sean Porter versus Terence. That's the last interview I've seen you where you've been interviewed, because you're normally doing the interviewing for kind of the Jeff Mayweather channel and your Mayweather boxing channel. I spoke to Jody Cohen a few months ago, I think. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I spoke to your business partner and Mayweather Dilla yesterday, actually, and I did ask about the Jeff Mayweather boxing podcast. Last time we spoke, there hasn't been a single episode released. What's been going on that, Jeff?
Well, I think that, Amir is basically, he's behind it.
Whoa. I asked him about that yesterday. He says Jody Cohen's behind it.
Well, don't get me wrong. Maybe he just said that, and, Jody kind of runs it, but still, Amir, he finances it, and a lot of times we wait for him to do what he needs to do, and he's so busy that the podcast does, we don't get a chance to do it as much as we should, because I mean at some time we will have like our following starts to grow, then we don't do it for another 4 or 5 months, and all of that was for nothing.
Yeah, I know. It's good to listen to the podcast. I listened back to a few of the old episodes you did, and they are quite entertaining. I remember last time we spoke as well, I asked you about the new Boxing Club game, the Esports Boxing Club, and you were saying you're not sure what's going on about it. And the very next day, it was announced that you and your brother, who I may have seen, are going to be in the game. Are you going to be coaches in the game, or are you going to be able to fighters as well?
No, we're just going to be coaches.
Why not fighters or boxers? Sorry.
I don't know, because I mean I think that they're going a different direction with guys that they think that are good coaches, because this is their first time actually having coaches in the game, so I mean they can't take everyone that was a boxer, and make them be a boxer and a coach. So they just, I mean, I'm sure like Freddie Roach, I mean, he boxed too, but he's not gonna be no boxer. He's gonna be a coach, So I mean,
I don't think Freddie Roach is in the game actually, but I don't think he's been announced yet. But since you and your brother Floyd Mayweather Sr. are in the game, who do you think is going to have the higher rating out of both of you?
I don't know, really. I mean, I'm not in competition with him, but he would probably be in competition with me because Floyd he likes to outdo everyone. But I think that, to me, I just think it's an honor to be a part of the game. So many years ago, a long, long time ago, when this all first started, I put Floyd Jr. on the game. And it took some real work to do it because at that time he had just got signed with Top Rank, and he had an amateur background, but a lot of people didn't have the expectations that I knew where he was going to reach. And so it was kind of like the first time he got put on the game, I think they gave him like 10,000 or something like that. And then the next time he was on the game, he was almost world champion. And then after that, he was on there. That was the last time he was on the game. And then after that, I was going to get him put on the game as the face of the game. But he decided to do some other stuff, and he didn't really want to do it, so he didn't do it.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather Jr. will be in Esports Boxing Club, the game that you're in?
I have no idea. Everybody's asking me. They think I know some secret, but I don't. So, and it's so funny how a guy said, send me a message on Instagram. Jeff, I heard that Floyd's gonna be on the game. I said, okay. I didn't. So, what do you think you're gonna get an answer out of me? I can't tell you. I know that's what he was trying to do because, and then the next day, one of his friends was asking me the same thing. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you what, go to Floyd's page and ask him. Then you already know. Because I can't tell you.
How much do you think they'll have to pay Floyd Mayweather to be in the game?
A lot. Everybody knows that. Not just me. Everybody knows that. They're gonna have to pay him a ton of money. And so, maybe if they come up with enough money, he'll be on the game. If they don't, I'm sure he won't be on the game. And he has enough money to create his own game if he wants to.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see he creates his own game as well. And do you talk to your nephew, Floyd Mayweather Jr. at all? Or do you talk to him often?
I haven't talked to him it's been a long time since we talked because, I mean, he's been extremely, extremely busy. And so, I just see him in passing. We don't actually hang out and go to eat together and stuff like that. No, we don't do that because he has so many people in his life and so many people that's a part of his circle. Like that circle becomes your family. And so those people now are more his family than I'm his family or his dad is his family. So, I mean, he spent more of his time with the people that he hangs out with.
Do you think we see him at Christmas?
Maybe Christmas, because Christmas was a time where I always would go to Roger's house. But lately we've all been going to Floyd Senior's house. And yes, Floyd Jr., he usually pops up at Christmas. So maybe I'll see him on Christmas.
Who's the one who does the cooking? Who's the one who does the cooking for Christmas then? Who prepares all the food?
Oh, no. None of us can cook. But Floyd has a friend that he's always with this guy. He's an actual chef. His name is PJ. And he cooks everything for Floyd. I mean, almost every holiday he cooks for Floyd. And I always go over there and eat. I mean, he's a great cook. So I mean, it's nice.
It's really nice having your own personal chef. And so staying on the topic of Christmas, what's on your Christmas list, Jeff?
I don't know. I mean, I'm at that age where Christmas doesn't really mean that much. But it's almost like if someone gives me something, I'm gonna be surprised. I mean, of course, I have a girlfriend. I mean, I might get her something. I might not. But because
I might get something, I might not. I like the idea.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe for Christmas I'll give her something nice. Yeah, I mean, and there was a time when it's funny because, like I was telling you how me and Roger used to be close. There would be times when me and Roger would, exchange gifts. But other than that, I mean, no, I really wasn't a big, spender on gifts for really anybody. I mean, for my mom, I would always send something to my mom from here. But my Christmas list was always short. I probably could get away with $12.
All right, we've been going for some time now, Jeff. I know I'm conscious of how much spare time you have, but only a few more points I want to just cover. Last time you were saying that you wanted to meet the comedian Dave Chappell, and is that going to be on your New Year's resolutions list to meet Dave Chappell?
Yes, that's definitely on my list. I mean, he's my favorite comedian, and I could have been met him. I mean, there's been so many times he's been in the same venue I've been in. He was actually at the last fight that I went to. It was I think his name Fault. What's Figueroa? And what's the
Brandon
guy?
Figueroa.
Fulton or something like
Fulton,
that.
yes, that's him.
Yeah. And David Chappelle was in the audience, but I didn't know he was in the audience. If I knew he was in the audience, I would have went and walked up to him, but I didn't know. And then I seen it the next day, like on somebody's in Instagram feed. So I missed that time. I missed that chance. And then one time I think I went to Argentina, and he came into the Mayweather gym, and I missed that chance. So I'm hoping that at one point I'll get a chance to be in the same room with him, and I'll go walk into him and talk to him. So I'm looking forward to meeting him one day.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure you will meet him, Jeff. And then we'll do an interview straight after, post-fight or post-conversation interview with Dave Chappell.
Maybe he'll tell me a joke.
I'm sure he will. He is very, very funny. He might, because he was at the last Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. He might be I think it's in Florida, the new, on the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley 2. He might be there.
When is that? Next week?
The fight's this weekend.
I might go there. I might go there, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to just go all that far just to meet David Chappelle. If I go, I'll be going to watch the fight, but I haven't made up my mind if I want to do that because I'm gonna be honest, I like watching the fights at home a lot more than I do being there because at any given point you could be talking to somebody and you'll miss something. And even though they still have replays, it's different to me because when I'm at a fight, I wanna just enjoy the fight by watching the fight and making sure I see everything, as opposed to basically, somebody talking to me and leave me alone. I'm watching. Yeah, and you should be watching too. And so that's how I am when I go to fights, live fights, as opposed to when I'm at home. I don't care because I already know they're gonna show the replay 100 times.
That's true. I've been to quite a few fights recently, obviously as media, as press, and a couple of times I've been looking down or talking to someone sitting next to me, and I missed the knockdown or the knockouts. I can really see what you mean. It is cool watching it like really up close ringside, but that is a really cool experience. But before I let you go, Jeff, what's your plan for 2022 then? What do you got coming up?
I'm gonna be very busy, I think. Well, I know I'm gonna be very busy. I have very, very few fighters that have been reaching out to me via Instagram, via Facebook. Some of them I know, some of them I don't know, and basically, so I'm hoping to have. I'm going to try to add probably another 3 or 4 fighters to my team, and just continue to coach and continue to, be on this journey with my guys and see where we go, and see where we end up.
And when I come to Las Vegas next year, you take me on a tour of Las Vegas. Take me on a little tour.
Yeah, I take you on the strip in downtown.
And then they have a boxing gym, all the boxing gyms as well.
Oh, I'll take you to a boxing gym and give you a doom session.
Yeah, that'll make a good video. That might get some views. Fred and Jeff may have a doom session.
You're gonna get some views for sure. You might even go to the hospital afterwards.
I'm in the wheelchair and you're just wheeling me into the hospital after.
Yeah, that's cool. We can do that.
That would make it quite an entertaining video. I think we'll put it that way. But all right, Jeff, it's always.
I think so.
All right, Jeff, it's always good to talk to you. I'm sure we'll catch up in 2022.
Right.
But before I let you go,
likewise, man.
Where can people find you on Instagram, Facebook, or those kind of social media apps?
My Instagram got hacked before the last time we talked, and at first it was just Jeff Mayweather. This time is the real Jeff Mayweather, and of course, I had like almost 70,000 people following me. Now I think I got like maybe like 3,000. But to me, it's never been about following because I know who I am anyway. And so like people always, and then like I always have people that work for Instagram, or I don't know if they work for them or whatever, but they're always talking about, they want to sell you some followers.
Oh, Jeff, that's spam. That's not real. That's spam. You want to delete that?
Oh, okay. Well,
Jeff, you don't want to say yes to that.
No. I never say yes anyway, because basically what I tell them is this.
No, you don't. Jeff, don't reply. Just block or delete. You don't want to be replying to those things.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened to my page. But no, because I'm like, I know who I am. I don't really care about. I don't care if I have 10 followers. That's fine. I'm fine with that, because realistically, I just have a page just to show pretty much what I do. It's not like everybody that I'm friend with, I jump on that phone and call them or stay on Instagram writing them. That's not me. I mean, one thing I do is that basically anyone that does write me, I will respond to them. I mean, it may not be as long as a response that they wrote to me, but I'm still going to respond to you, And if you continue to respond too much, I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta go, because I mean, I don't live on Instagram. Some people live on Instagram. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'll say it in the kindest way that I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
They write like whole paragraphs to you, and you're like, thank you. So it's like that.
Something like that. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes I have great conversations with some people I never even met. I have great conversations with, but and then I also have a lot of fighters that want to send me videos. I'm not a video guy. The one thing is this, I tell them this, unless I see something really exceptional, then they'll ask me pointers on certain things. And most of the time I'll do it, but when you start asking me every day about something that your coach should be teaching you, I'm going to stop. Because first of all, I don't want to interfere with your coach, and I'm not getting anything from it. So one day you might fight one of my fighters and fuck around. I done gave you all my knowledge and beat my fighter. Then I'm gonna have to. Then I'm going to jail. I'll be trying to beat you too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can see what you mean. You give them all the information, and they just use it against you in that type of way. And when I spoke to Jody Cohen, he says he's coming out with a load of t-shirts saying kind of Jeff Mayweather is in the house. Yeah, those are very popular t-shirts. When I come to Las Vegas, can I get one of those?
I'm sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Jody's, that's his lane. He does a lot of stuff like that. He creates some t-shirts that look like garbage to me. that I would never wear in my life. But then every once in a while he come up with something really, really nice. And I think that, is nice, and it's something that, represents me, and I feel good, in it. So I wear it. I mean,
the Jeff Mayweather in the house t-shirt. The Jeff Mayweather in the house t-shirt is very popular. I always see people, or I always see you on the channel wearing it.
Yeah, yeah, because I ran out of t-shirts. I got 5. I have about 1,000 hoodies. I represent everybody. See what I'm saying? Who am I today?
It says I'm a beast.
Yeah, I'm a beast. I'm a beast today. And they ain't even paying me for this.
Do you not have like when Floyd Mayweather, your nephew, fought, they always had those kind of team tracksuits. Do you not have any of those?
What's that?
When your nephew, Floyd Mayweather, fought, they always had those team tracksuits. Do you never get any of those?
Yeah, I used to have them. I mean, I still got one. I still got one. I used to have a bunch of them. And then after a while, I started having people bidding for them. I sell you a fucking sweatsuit for $500. Here, you can have it. I don't care.
All right, Jeff. I think we're going for about 40 minutes, or a bit over 40 minutes. It's one of the longest interviews probably I've ever done, maybe. But I'm sure we'll catch up in the new year, Jeffrey, around February, March time. But
all right, sounds good, man.
We'll catch up soon then, Jeff. Thanks so much for your time. It's always
all right.
It's always fun.
All right, pleasure as always.